Good afternoon, folks. This is Mike Aguzin with Jonathan Shockley filming. It's a gorgeous April day, and this is a kind of madness. I think some of the best poetry is divine madness, if you will. And it's for Sally, our mom, who passed away about 2 months ago. And I'm going to read this short paragraph from Robinson Jeffers from Night, the poem Night, the last paragraph, for Sally. Have men's minds changed, or the rock hidden in the deep waters of the soul broken the surface? A few centuries gone by, was none dared not to people the darkness beyond the stars with hearts and habitations. But now dear is the truth, life is grown sweeter and lonelier, and death is no evil. Supposing out I was maybe winning a fashion model to check my poetry out on YouTube. We smoked a spiff and it was good, and she had knowing eyes large behind the glasses and smile. I entered the cafe earlier when chocolate chip edible had worn off. It is warm in here. The sky is gray and cloudy in the second week of May. Like a flash from the past, Nikki, a young hip chick, sat at the coffee bar seat, not retreating from the Latino in strawberry sport coat and glasses. They are sharing confidences, I suppose. Beat. Sitting here at the Med in Berkeley, I am downstairs, though in my Cal school days I would sit upstairs mostly. Fitting in, being low-key was part of my MO, and writing as though I was a participant and observer. Guy who served me at the Mediterranean had a large afro like most of the Black Panthers in the late 60s. Sitting here doing my stuff, so to speak, Guy goes by with his headset on his ears and picks up a newspaper and browses it. Sitting here at the Med, bee-boo, toot-toot, what so, the jazz plays. Another guy stands as the piano keys fly, and smaller afro dude walks by toward the entrance to leave. The saxophone and drums squeal and beat. Tis finding the spark, losing the spark, the wonder, the humility of it. I feel, I breathe and sense it so much about anew. The crooners, the taverns, the valley, all speak the subtle and sublime. Now to the porch, to the front doorsteps we do climb. 1,000 years, an incline and decline, systolic, dystolic pulse of mankind, pulse of our reality. Not that we must forget the pulse of mankind, the pulse, or we not forget the snotty nose or even the rose. For bud we bud we, and let us enjoy the herbs and wine, for life is long and art is short, it is said. I turn the music off and hear an alarm go off in the distance. Like a pulse beating, I close the window to have at least a few moments of peace. Yes, my heart is fine, my breath is good, my nerves are steady, calm as day, day is calm. This blood in the brain is good, and don't forget to pick up the iron supplement, honey. Day and night, night and day, we go along this petty way. 'Tis said, 'tis already dead, and yet, do you believe me? Summer-like. Here it is, the beginning of a new natal year for me. Am I wiser? I am older, and I feel it in body, less in mind. There is a slight breeze as many Asian folks pass by us at the Blue Daniel Cafe at 4th and Clement. I feel I have much to do, and that I must get a sense, or not just a sense, but get a completion of projects in my life. An attractive middle-aged woman goes by with her dog held by arm with a sling wrapped around it. I see Chase Bank, Burmese restaurant, variety store, deli and market across the street on Clement, looking south. The sun is very pleasant, high 60s, low 70s. To us here in San Francisco, it seems like summer with t-shirts worn. Cafe. I'm sitting here at Joe's reading Zolo's Belly of Paris about those times in the 1850s in Paris, and even some folks dying and starving. And that fat and thin are about opposite today as was then. The psychic next door has become part of this setting. Young people are on their laptops with some beers, some coffee and tea. Dogs capture the attention of folks outside sitting off of Leavenworth. Man hugs a tall redhead with her dog, and others are amusing themselves. Students smile. Young woman throws her debris in the cafe container. Frames. I sit 4 flights and a doorway across from where Dashiell Hammett penned some great writing. I hear Arabic and some high voice inflections. I sat looking across Post Street and hide at the House of Fans from this Java house. Rather, what a grind, and espied a ponytailed woman coming out of the cafe. She very pretty and dark-eyed. A casually dressed man strides across Post. A woman in black suit pants trots behind him, down, or up to the ocean, looking up with her dark sunglasses and gold-colored frames. The young, attractive woman in dark blue shirt, nose rings and tattoos on her arm sits outside. Frames. And at this point I want to mention Stu Goldman. He died about a month ago. He passed about a month ago. He was a former special ed teacher. He also was an international Scrabble champion. And Stu said this joke. And Stu was 83 years old when he passed. A 93-year-old goes into the doctor and says, Doctor, I've got to lower my sex drive. I've got to lower my sex drive. The doctor looks at the patient and says, it's all in your head. Ranting. Today, and yet not unlike other days, where I get online and post and read and look at posts of Facebook friends where memory slips between low and high, but I have good sense of well-being, where I hear folks in the background as they hang out, play chess, gab on their cell phones, and yes, have relationship fights, as with foxy, young, but not too young, brown-haired goddess Slows, the seemingly cocained out guy in Thai, possibly her husband. Slows his rant down. Hell, where does it hurt? What is your pain? What are you suffering? A very cute blonde goes by on her cell phone, blinking her sweet eyelashes. Was it Poe that said, 50 lines is best? Always a student, and this is so true. How it is time to soon go home, and today I typed and posted, it is not what you've got, but what you do with it. As a pretty young lady with long thin hair leaves the cafe, and Ziv and her girlfriend are in here. The young dreadlocked friend is outside playing kendama with a mature looking woman. When I was out there, I did not offer him or they a hit, but said I was being polite by not. Chinese, probably not Mandarin, but speaking Cantonese is on my left, with 2 parallel tables where attractive students are gabbing away. Always a student eye. Fidges. And yet it came to me, a glance on the street, a man waiting for the bus and a guy inside is grunting and moaning. Owner wears a snazzy hat, and the man by the window again moans. I went for a smoke, then looked at the plaque for Dashiell Hammett and realized his room where he wrote Maltese Falcon and other books is on the other corner of the building, maybe 100 feet from here. In 1930, he wrote his masterpiece, Maltese Falcon. He is a descendant of the Poe genre, the Conan Doyle, then comes Hammett. People are chatting and boxes are being moved near to the counter by the owner. The sun in long shadow is across the street. Man who groaned is on his computer and fidgets. Timshel. I will be a student, not a scholar, all my life. I think this to myself, looking out the window at some students, and not much else is going on. The laughter of young lady, little troubled by this world and its problems. She, what it be? It is, as the young man says hello to me and shakes my hand. Am I just that tired, burdened, and poor? Do we get a little more money in December, or is it in January? I think December. Here I am alive and quite happy at my little table scribbling and reading John Steinbeck over again. And the world goes on with women in fancy clothes, and I am attempting to write while this bright, tall, and pretty woman speaks behind me. Timshel comes to mind, thou mayest. And this is my last poem. Thanks for coming here today and watching this. Spark. Gerda, be a man and don't follow me. How am I feeling? Well, pretty jolly, sitting in Joe's, looking out at students and having a good one. Destiny, speaking of, how much do and can we shape our own? Who knows? Does history make the man, or does man make history, or does she? But by our participation, we create our spark. Our spark creates us. We co-create each other as we internalize us, people and our surroundings. Be a man and don't follow me, said Gerda. And today I want to once again, this is a kind of madness for Sally. And Sally, I hope you keep dancing the night away.